L'alphabet en français. So let's practice the alphabet that you remember from last year. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Some of the hardest ones are this little stretch right here. G, H, I, J. You almost have to think about G and J as the opposite sounds in English and French. G, H, I, J. And going back through all of the vowels. A, E, I, O, U. Smiling is important in French. If to pronounce the E right, if you smile, you've got it. E. And then the letter Q, Q. You shouldn't hear a W like a W sound at the end. Like same with the letter U. It's not oo. With your lips that rounded, you've got to make them a lot tighter. If you can hear like a W, a W sound at the end, then it's not quite there. And a good way to practice getting to the U sound is to start with the E with your mouth smiling, E, and slowly turn it into the U. E-U, E-U, U. And you make the same sound with Q. And work on getting that R in our throat without exaggerating it too much. You don't have to be spitting, right? Air. That's perfectly fine. Air. Air. Okay? And then these last three. X, Y, Z. It's good if you practice doing the whole thing in order, practice it doing randomly looking at letters and being able to do them anywhere, doing it backwards so that you can do anything. Often in France, we have different names that French people aren't used to, so you might have to spell your name for them to catch it, so that's something to practice. Let's here, listen to the whole thing one more time. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Let's listen to the alphabet in a song.
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. C'est l'alphabet en français.
I know sometimes you think it's kind of crazy to sing when you're in high school, but music helps get in your head, so singing can be a good practice for you. So think about using that. And then let's talk about some other things that are important for spelling in French. Accents, right? Les accents. L'accent grave. It can only be on these three letters, A, E, and U. Examples of words that you know. Père, ou. Doesn't really do much on the or anything on the A or the U, but it can make a difference in meaning between two words. Like, do you know what oo would mean if it didn't have the accent? It means or. So that kind of is important. For the E, it makes it a shorter sound of an E, like the E in end or fair, as opposed to A, père. So accent grave. If I was going to spell the word père in French, I would say P, E, accent grave, R, E. Accent aigu. Accent aigu is only on the letter E, and this is super important. It's probably the most used one because it's going to actually make it to where you pronounce the E. In all of these words, in this, if there was no accent on this, it would just be parle. The E would be silent. As soon as I add the accent there, it's parler, parler. It's marié, fait. That's how we get the A sound. If I was going to spell this word in French, P, A, R, L, E, accent aigu. So, accent aigu. Accent circumflex. This can be on all the vowels. For example, forêt, dîner. Really doesn't do a lot to the sound. It's mainly a spelling element. In many cases, they're starting to allow it to go away. It's in a lot of words that came from Latin, for example, forest, that used to have an S in it, like we still do in English. And to note that they got rid of the S, they put the accent there. So you just see that. If I was going to spell forêt in French, I would say F-O-R-E, accent circumflex, T. So accent circumflex. Tréma. This one's just called tréma, not accent tréma. It can be on the E, I, or U, and it's the two dots. For example, Noël. If it's used, it means that you're going to pronounce the second vowel separately from the first when you have two vowels. So otherwise, if that wasn't here, we might say Noël or something because the O and the E would be together. But they're pronounced separately because of the accent. So it's Noël, Noël. If I was going to spell Noël in French, N-O-E-L. C'est dit. This is the only accent that goes on a consonant, right? All the other accents we've seen go on vowels. C'est dit. And it's only on the letter C. It's the little curve that goes down and to the left underneath the C. Façon, garçon. What's the purpose of it? It means it makes the C that's there soft. Do you have to have it on every C? No, because of course there's some words where the C is pronounced hard, k. But if the word needs to be pronounced soft, you're going to add this. This is something that as you go on in French, it's going to become more natural, but just so you see this, the letter C with an A after it, an O or a U is automatically k, the k sound. So if that word is pronounced like s, you have to add the CD to make it a soft sound. If an E or an I comes after the C, it's always pronounced s, the soft sound, so the CD would never be needed. So because the word boy is garçon, we've got to have the CD. If it wasn't there, it would be garçon, and that's not the word, right? Let's spell garçon in French. G-A-R-C-C-D-O-N. Voila.